You are now listening to the Girl Organize That Life podcast. Coach L3.
Hi, welcome to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, where I am your host, Leslie Latimore-Lorfils, affectionately known as Coach L3. As a mother of 12, who has also served as a senior military officer for nearly 3 decades alongside my husband, I can certainly understand and appreciate who I call the 3C sisters: crazy, chaos, and confusion. If you are an executive level mom, mompreneur, or lady leader who perhaps still struggles with burnout, you have come to the right place where you can receive strategies and tips on how to pivot with poise and conquer the noise. I invite you to take this journey with us to increase your clarity, your confidence, and to conquer the overwhelm. Hope to see you there.
Coach L3.
Hey, get going, girls. Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Organize That Life podcast, where we empower executive level moms, mompreneurs, and lady leaders to balance it all with grace and confidence. I'm your host, Leslie Latimore-Lorfils, affectionately known as Coach L3, and I am beyond excited to dive into today's topic because whether you like it or not, it's something that we all struggle with. And guess what? I am talking about digital overwhelm. That's right. Today's episode is all about digital detox, reclaiming your time in a hyper-connected world. OMG. How do we do that? So here's the problem. We have the overwhelm of constant connectivity. And I am not going to sit and pretend that I am not fazed by this at all. This affects me too. But we have to be very intentional and deliberate in how we are managing ourselves to optimize the use of our time. And sometimes when we're so connected to the external world, to the digital world, we sometimes don't realize why our anxiety may be a little higher, why our stress may be a little higher. So let's get real for a moment. Can we do that? Okay, I'm so glad you asked. Listen, we live in a world that is always on. Whether it's emails, social media notifications, or the never-ending streams of messages, many of us feel like we can never unplug. And that is the truth. And I will tell you, for me, even when I unplug, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm missing something. I have that FOMO, fear of missing out. Fear of missing out on what? Right? And the thing is, as for us as high achieving women, it gets even trickier. It gets trickier because we're not just trying to run a household or business. You know, you're also juggling a career, demands, family, and let's not forget trying to squeeze in some self-care too. There's a lot going on. So here's the thing though. Our brains weren't designed to handle this level of constant stimulation. Oh my God. That's why the anxiety goes up. Studies show that switching between tasks and distractions caused by digital devices increases stress and anxiety. I just want to drive that home. I really want to drive that home. And if we're honest, can we just be honest for a quick moment? Can we really be honest? It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Today, we're going to tackle how we can combat this digital burnout and reclaim our time for the things that really matter. Okay. So, what is the impact? What is it costing us? What's the true cost of always being connected? Let me break this down. First, there's time. We talk about this all the time. How often do you go in to check one email and you found yourself scrolling Instagram for 30 minutes? Guilty as charged. Hello. Right? I was so serious. Like, I'm stepping on my own toes. It's easy to lose time when we are constantly connected. It is. And then we wonder why maybe we haven't spent enough time with the kid. Why haven't we spent enough time with our husband, the significant other, and just with ourselves? Like nothing around, just quiet, right? So we have that. And then there's the impact of our mental clarity. Every beep, every ping, every notification pulls us away from being fully present in the moment. Would you agree? Yeah, excuse me. And this doesn't affect our productivity. It affects our ability to engage meaningfully. Are y'all hear what I'm saying? Meaningfully with our family. I just said that. What if we don't spend enough time with the kid and stuff? Friends and even ourselves. Just said that. We lose the ability to focus one task at a time, which makes us feel more scattered and overwhelmed. And I want everyone that's under the sound of my voice to hear me when I tell you, I am not condemning you, nor am I judging you for checking your social media. I'm not doing any of those things. Many of us are entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, lady leaders. We rely on our social media to keep contact with our clients, our potential clients, our other business ventures, our connections, our collaborations, etc. But there is a time where we have to be very intentional and very deliberate about unplugging, because there's an undercurrent that takes place in the form of stress and anxiety, because we are always on. We are always digitally connected. And we need to make sure that we round that out. And then finally, there's emotional health. Who knew? We've all been there, seeing everyone's highlight reel on social media and feeling like we're not doing enough. Oh my God, I'm so guilty here. Hello? One thing about me, one thing as your coach, one thing as a person that's wanting to bring value to you, I'm going to bring my authentic and very transparent self. Because if you ever think that any of us, coaches, leaders, whatever, no one has arrived in this thing, it is a work in progress for everyone. Which is why I believe that I have been called to this space in such a time as this to empower other high achieving women to say, hey, it's okay to take a time out. And then this comparison trap can lead to burnout. It can lead to guilt and even feelings of inadequacy. That's why we don't need to compare and contrast. It truly is a recipe for disaster if you really, if we're really honest about it, if we really think about it. So we don't need to compare and contrast. So yeah, feeling of inadequacy. And let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. We're juggling demanding careers and family responsibilities, personal passions, and that constant digital noise only adds to the overwhelm. We might even feel guilty if we don't respond to it right away, or message an email, or as if being offline just for a few hours will cause everything to collapse. How many of you are picking up what I'm putting down? How many of you find yourself in this space? I most certainly have. But here's the truth, ladies. This hyperconnectivity isn't just draining our energy, it's stealing our time. Time we could be spending on meaningful work, time with our families, and resting. Okay, so let's talk about some ways we can take our time back. Now, before we jump into solutions, I do want to lay out some things. So I want to lay out a little bit of science behind this too, and to amplify understanding. Let's understand what's happening to our brains. Okay, studies, and I spoke on this a little bit, but I just want to dive into it a little more. Studies show that constant digital engagement can lead to decision fatigue, shorter attention spans, OMG, increased stress levels, which I talked about, and the never-ending notifications. I told you, the beeps, the pings, it just keeps our mind in a state of alertness, making it hard to really focus and wind down. So I want us to pause on that and just kind of take a deep breath there. Okay, like we must hear what I'm saying. And let's not forget how mindlessly we're scrolling through social media. I talked about that and create that false sense of productivity. I'm scrolling, but I'm busy doing nothing. You're just busy scrolling. We tell ourselves we're just catching up on what's happening in the world, but in reality, we're spending hours consuming content that often leaves us feeling more anxious, inadequate, or scattered. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it 100 here. So here's some strategies that we could talk about to reclaim your time. And we're going to call this the Digital Detox Blueprint. So what can we do about it? What can we do? I'm so glad you all asked me. Let me share a few practical strategies that will help you to unplug, and it will help you to regain control of your time. I like to call this the Digital Detox Blueprint. Number one, set digital boundaries. What does that mean? You're going to create a specific tech-free time during your day. For example, don't check your phone for the first hour after waking up. Just sleep. And look, like I said, I'm stepping on my own toes because I'm guilty of this, but don't check your phone and set a strict cutoff time in the evening. Like, cut it off. Okay. Mornings and nights are key moments for grounding yourself, centering yourself, and not getting lost in your inbox. It's a great morning, evening routine. Number two, use the do not disturb mode on your phone. Listen, Linda's, Leroy's, Larry's, and Lorraine's, I have increased the use of my do not disturb on my phone. And I'm pretty sure even my children are like, wait, mom isn't answering me. And let me tell you, when I'm hearing my phone ring less, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel such a sense of relief and just peace in that little bit of time that I allow to give to me. This is one of my favorite tools. You can schedule focus hours. And this is where, like, your phone will automatically silence and silence all non-essential notifications. I love it. You will be amazed at how much more time or how much more you can get done when you're not being interrupted every 10 minutes. It's the truth. I'm just trying to help someone here and set someone free with all of this, because I'm telling you, it's so necessary. And then number three, we can do social media detox days. What does that mean? Pick one day a week. I just said one. I didn't say 2, 3, or 4. One day a week, or even a few hours each day, if it's something that you got to grow into, which I understand, where you completely log off social media. Just log off. Trust me, the world is still going to spin without you there for a little while. Okay. And you'll feel like much lighter when you come back. So I want you all to try that. And then number 4, you're going to declutter your digital space. Let me explain. This one is simple. Okay. You're going to organize your apps, delete what you don't need. We often keep digital clutter the same way we keep physical clutter, because we just have this FOMO thing, and it adds to chaos. It really does. And then clear your inbox, organize your files. Everything I'm saying to you, I need to do, right? Because it's a work in progress. Organize your files and create your digital environment so that it's like as a peaceful, ideal workspace for yourself. Okay. And then number 5, be mindful of consumption. What does that mean? When you do engage with digital media, do it with a purpose. Ask yourself, is this adding value to my life? Or is it simply filling space? These are very real questions that we don't ask ourselves. Be intentional about what you consume, whether it's podcasts, social media, or even emails. Now, listen, ladies, I'll be honest. And like I said several times throughout this episode, and this is such a good episode for me personally, because I still struggle with this as someone who runs multiple projects, connect with people daily, with people even globally, and always working on the next thing. It is so tempting to stay plugged in 24/7. But I tell you, when I started applying these detox strategies, I felt a shift. It was just like, and that fear of missing out, it decreases, because now you're centering yourself to a space and place that truly, truly matters for your life, right? I was able to focus on my work and have more mental clarity. And here's the kicker. I found more time for myself. Imagine that. And you know what? You deserve that too. You really do. I want to be clear, because again, I'm not judging you for getting on your social media, for scrolling. I'm not. I just want you to create additional space that is so sacred and that is just for you. It's not about unplugging forever. It's just about creating balance in this hyper connective world so you can show up as your best self. And when you show up as your best self, you're showing up best for your spouse, your children, the clients that are waiting for you to serve them, and anyone else that's attached to you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So here's my challenge. I'm not going to ever get on here and not leave you with something. Here's my challenge to you. This week, I want you to pick one digital detox blueprint strategy and commit to it. Commit to it. Lean into it. Whether it's setting tech-free hours, scheduling a focused session, or taking a social media break. Do it and see how it transforms your energy and your time. Try that. I want to hear. I want you to come back and let me know how it goes. And I want to hear from you. I want you to share your detox wins with us. Share your struggles with me on social media. And yes, I'm still there on social media. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. But in a healthy, intentional way of doing it. Just have a way of doing it. And then tag me at Girl Organize That Life. And let's hold each other accountable. Right? Can we do that? Okay, can we do that? I hope you all really enjoyed this episode. That's it for today, ladies. And what I would say, if you found value in this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget, we do have some more amazing episodes coming up in season 2. We're not done yet. So stay tuned. Until next time, let's take control. Let's set those boundaries. Let's reclaim our time because you've got this, boss. You've got this and you deserve all of this. Until next time, remember to pivot with poise despite the noise. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Coach L3.